What's up, guys? I've got a different build I'm bringing today. It is a hybrid Templar, kind of. It's an archer build. We are using Oakensoul, so it's so hard to explain. Let's just dive right in. So let's go first into the stat sheet. You can see our points are all over the place here. I'm rocking 42 into health because if you've seen any of my other previous builds, I always like to get a nice 30k. On this build, it is an archer build. We're playing from range and kind of being rats. Yeah, it's not like a, you're not going to want to go out and 1vx brawler style on this build. So we are playing from range. You could get away with running lower health, but again, I'm comfortable with 30k, and I do like to fight outnumbered as much as I can. So I like having it there. And then I just kind of try to get these as even as possible. I could probably afford to drop one more out of Magicka and throw it into Stamina. But I would have to leave Greyhouse to do it, and there's a big queue, so I don't feel like doing that just yet to get these a little more even. As of right now, our base recoveries are 1211 and 1298, both solid. And you do use both of your pools a lot on this build. Like, it's extensive how much you use both pools. They're not big, but you'll see why it kind of works out. Base spell damage is 5.1k. It's solid. It's not amazing, but you'll see with one of the sets we're running, it's a proc burst set. And yeah, we have 10k penetration on both physical and spell. So really good penetration. Resistances with Oakensoul on, our bases are 22.9k spell, 18.5k physical. And similar to my other builds, as you can see down here, I'm only 842 CP on PC. I'm coming over from Xbox where I was, way higher CP. So on this build as well, I don't have Undaunted. That's going to raise all my stats. I don't have a lot of different Fighters Guild, Mages Guild. I have a few Mages Guild, but a lot of my skill lines are not maxed. So Assault Support, I do not think those are maxed. You have Continuous Attack and Rallying Cry up. We are using Rallying Cry. This could get, let's go ahead and buff up a little bit. Throw one there, use a pot. You can see our recoveries go up to 14 Magicka, 1400, and 1600 stamina. Spell damage goes up to 5.5. We do have, again, like I said, if you have continuous attack, that's going to go up. Plus, if we proc our minor sorcery with our Dawn's Wrath skill, because we are a Templar, that's going to go up. And also, I'm running Jewels of Misrule. So normally I think you would want Orzorgas, but I just don't feel like wasting my Orzorgas right now because this character is not maxed out. I don't have Undaunted. So why even waste the Orzorgas on him? Well, what else? Oh, I was going to say my bow does have a weapon and spell damage enchantment, so that can also raise it up a little bit. But let's go ahead and jump into the gear since we are here. As you can see on my bow, we are running Calurians. So this is going to give you crit chance, weapon and spell damage, crit chance. When you deal crit damage with a light or heavy attack, you basically launch a projectile at them. Tooltip's not crazy on here. It's 12k, but again, it's a nice chunk of burst damage, and really you get it for free by just weaving your light attacks. So it can happen every 10 seconds, and it's a solid little burst damage set. Well, as you can see, on the bow, I mentioned we are running a weapon and spell damage enchant, which again, when you weave your light attacks, you're getting that plus your Calurian's proc. So it's very important to weave your light attacks, obviously, on this build. I mean, the skills we use actually do make it pretty easy. And then we're running Sharpen for more pen. You could run Nirnhund for more healing as well. It's a little bit less damage, but since we're running Oakensoul and it's a 1-bar build, your healing is also coming from this bar, and Nirnhund would make your healing better. So that is also an option. And our next 5-piece set is Rallying Cry, like I mentioned. This set's been one of the best sets for a while, defensively and offensively. But most people were backbarring this set. And it gives you crit chance, Magicka, crit chance. So 2 lines of crit chance, just like Calurian's Legacy, which, as you can see from Calurian's, dealing crit damage with a light attack is what you want to do. So it's just more crit chance. It's helping that out, that proc chance. And then 5, while Battle Spirit is active, which it always is in Cyrodiil, anytime you heal yourself, you are basically getting 300 weapon and spell damage and 15, almost 1600 crit resist. So yeah, it gives you damage and it gives you armor and resistances. It's a really good defensive and / offensive utility set. And then the crit chance on here is helping out the crit chance on rallying. So both of these sets actually synergize really well with the crit chances. I've noticed that. And then obviously Oakensoul. On the jewelry, we, as of right now, are running 3 spell damage, all infused. Trying to crank up the spell damage a little bit since we're not getting a ton of spell damage from Calurians. We are getting the burst, but it's not just like pure spell damage like if I was running New Moon, like I run on another build. And then on the armor, since it is Calurian and rallying, it's all of those are light. All of that is light armor. So we don't have a ton of options because I am choosing to run a heavy piece of trainee for the extra health. Once I max out Undaunted and all of that, I might drop this. You could always run like either a helmet or a shoulder of your monster set of choice, like because you're gonna get a one piece. So Valken Scoria, I believe, would be good. It gives you penetration. Magma Incarnate is gonna give you recovery, both recovery, stamina, and magicka. You could do like Mighty Chudan and get armor. There's a lot of different options you can do. So yeah, but I am right now, I feel like my recovery is okay. I have a lot of pen as it is. I could use more damage, but I like running the piece of trainee for the health. And so all of the rest are going to be M-Pen. It's all light M-Pen, so 6 light M-Pen, 1 heavy reinforced. I've got, ideally you would want all of these armor pieces tri-stat enchanted. I have most of them except for the waist and the shoes are 2 magicka. Okay, 3 magicka. There's little gloves here too. And then, yeah, ideally I would want to get those. They're expensive and I just haven't done it on this build yet. Once I've completely maxed them out, all the stats are great, I will max out all the gear as well. But I think that pretty much covers the gear. So Calurians, Rallying Cry, Oakensoul, Trainee. Now, this is where it gets super interesting. So I know there's going to be other options and better options that could make this build stronger, but just hear me out when you see the skills. Oh, sorry, I don't even have the right skills on. I was testing this out, and this was what I meant by that. This is working well. But here's what I normally run on this particular setup. Okay, so I'm running Snipe, Lethal Arrow. You could also use the other one, but this one's pretty nice. It's got a 9k tooltip, and that's just like our base. Hang on, let me... Rallying again. There we go. Now it's a 9.6k, and like I said, our stats are not maxed. We're going to get more damage. Continuous attack, your light attack, weapon and spell damage enchant. It's going to be over 10k. So it's a solid burst skill. Plus you can hit it the farther you are away with the bow passive, the more it's going to deal as well there. And it's also going to hit minor defile on them, so they're not going to be able to heal as well. And when they can't heal as well, that's where these other skills kind of... Because I'm running 3 dots, okay? All of these dots have a crazy 38 meter radius. And this has a 45 meter. So you can... So basically the rotation is... And then 1 heal. But the rotation is, I literally hit this first, Vampire's Bane, because when you hit it, it's going to proc minor sorcery from the Dawn's Wrath. Illuminate? Yeah. So you're getting an extra 10% spell damage, which is going to buff the rest of your skills, okay? So you hit that, that's your first skill in the combo. Obviously a light attack into it, or even a heavy attack into it. So ideally you would light attack, proc your weapon and spell damage enchant. Vampire's Bane, you're proccing minor sorcery. Mage's Guild Structured Entropy. We don't need the other one. We don't need degen because with Oakensoul we're already getting the Major Brutality and Sorcery. So here we can afford to run, and it turns out to be a heal over time for us. So it's a strong dot and a heal over time. This is a dot and we're getting minor sorcery. And this is a dot and basically we're getting sustain. Anytime you get a kill, which in Greyhost and Cyrodiil, you're fighting alongside the Zergs and like in the Zergs and on the outskirts of the Zergs and just picking people off. Because that's what this build does. This is not a proud build by any means. Don't get me wrong. The sets are good. I mean, you're running 2 meta sets, but you are a little squishy. You're in 6 light, but you can take people out one-on-one. You just don't want to be in a brawler situation. You want to try and keep your distance, line of sight, get them with the dots, and then lethal arrows, and then toxic barrage. And with Oakensoul, you're getting these so often. It's ridiculous. Ballista could be better. Ballista is better in so many different instances, but I just love the way this looks. It makes me actually feel like more of an archer. So it's just kind of like a nostalgic thing. That's the reason I play Toxic Barrage. But let me, one second, buff that back up. Let's keep talking about, so, that's gonna bug me. So yeah, Vampire's Bane, Structured Entropy, and Consuming Trap is going to, it's dealing 14,000 over 10 seconds. So 1.4k here per second, 1.4k here per second, and this one's going to be a little less than 1,000, but you're also getting a nice chunk of burst damage out front. Yeah, so it's what was it, 1.4, 2.8. You're basically getting over 3k dot tick a second with all of these combined. If you hit them with a minor defile on your lethal arrow, it's burst plus the minor defile. They're not going to be able to heal. That's going to make those dots even stronger. And once we get into champion points, I am running the Thaumaturge, which gives you, and Deadly Aim. So all of these skills are getting buffed by Deadly Aim. They're all single target abilities. And then these 3 are getting buffed by Thaumaturge, 6% extra damage over time. So nice synergies there. And then obviously you've got these at your disposal. You can literally hit people with, once you get this on them, if you get these 3 dots on them, you'll see this in the gameplay. A couple Toxic Barrages and then this, it's hard to live through it. And then Calurion, if your Calurion procs on them, like, you have all of that pressure, plus the fact we're running Rallying Cry, and we're running a 1-bar bow build, so you do get the major expedition from bow when you roll dodge. This build's fast, it's survivable. It's got 35k crit resist or something like that, wasn't it? 36.6, like, almost, I mean, that might even be a little excessive, but 10k pen, like, there's a lot to this build that makes it good. I obviously probably need to perfect the stats a little bit more, but at this point, obviously you want all of the passives in your Dawn's Wrath. All of those. I am running Wood Elf on this build. It's another good thing to mention. I think Wood Elves are great on any bow build, and plus I just wanted to play a Wood Elf. I'm an AD kind of role player, so yeah, you're getting max stam, you're getting stam recovery, and you're getting a little more penetration and movement speed. So the bow plus Wood Elf makes you pretty survivable in itself. Support, we're gonna want combat oh nice, I can get this now, at least 1 level, so now I'm getting more healing done by a keep. You'll want this one and this one. We're not running any of these skills, so we don't need the magic aid. Sorry, my dog's like playing with me. Assault, you're gonna want all of these. You're getting ultimate when you kill a player. So I mean that just stacked with Oakensoul. One of your Templar passives gives you ultimate as well. And Oakensoul obviously gives you major heroism. So you're getting tons of ultimate gen. And like you're just, oh my gosh, the Toxic Barrage is just coming out. So don't, like, if you play this build, don't feel like, oh, I want to save my ultimate for the perfect moment. Like, I know that's a problem I always, like, used to do, but now it's just, like, especially with Oakensoul on, it's just, like, use it. As soon as you get it, use it. You could run bigger on this build. If you, like, you don't have to play the 3 dots. Like, you could play way more defensive. Usually on an Oakensoul build, I run 2 damage skills and 3. I usually run Race Against Time and Healing. That's another thing. I don't have Sigil Quarter on this character. I run Race Against Time on every single build. Now, would I run it on this build? I think you could get away with not running Consuming Trap, because it's still a lot of damage with just these 2. So that's what I would probably do, I'm thinking. But the other option was to run Power of the Light. That's what I was suggesting at the beginning of the video and what most people would probably do, because this is going to be nice burst damage as well. But I like the idea of the dots. It's just such a fun like play style, like, and for the fact that's like it's like a Magicka archer. That's the way like I'm describing the build, obviously, because you also have the Magicka heal at the end. It's a huge burst heal, and it's gonna save your butt. Then the sustain part on it's nice too. So I said we're running. You want to run either Orzorgas or Jewels of Misrule. You could run Bewitched Sugar Skulls, which gives you max stats, and then for our pots, we're using the tripods. So you're getting anytime you're going to be pushing this build to the max with roll dodging with your Magicka. So use these. They're giving you 3 buffs that you don't have with Oakensoul. With Fortitude, Major Intellect, and Major Endurance. They're stacking with the minor version of those skills. And you restore, obviously, the 3 stats right away. So, really nice pots. And, yeah, let's go into, finish out the passives. You're going to want all of your heavy. I could probably afford it, but let me check. I have medium. I could take these out since I'm not running medium at the moment, but yeah, you're going to want all of your light and heavy if this is the way you set it up. Yeah, and then let's see. Bow, all your bow passives. So it gives you a damage bonus of up to 12% at long range. That's with your lethal arrow and your toxic barrage, actually. All of these have 38 meter radiuses too. It's nice. I actually made a post on the forum a while back. I would really want this. I really want them to change this passive where it says with bow abilities to just all abilities. If you are using a bow on your primary weapon, all of your abilities should have that range buff on it. It makes running a bow more viable, in my opinion, because not many people run bow for damage. That would give you damage on all of these dots, extra damage, up to 12%. That would be nice. Yeah, and I had a lot of people agreeing with me on there. And then this stacks really well with Rallying Cry and Calurion. You're getting more crit chance. So another great synergy. Reduces the stamina cost of your Toxic Barrage, or of your Toxic Lethal Arrow. And another synergy, kind of, is Hawkeye when you're dealing damage with your light and heavy attacks. So basically when you're weaving your light attacks, you're increasing your damage with your bow abilities. So you're increasing as you light attack weave with, you're doing the dots, you're light attack weaving, you're hitting them with a couple lethal arrows, light attack weaving, the whole thing. As you do that, you are increasing the damage of your, so if you hit light attack this, light attack this, light attack this, and then hit light attack lethal arrow, you're going to have a 15% damage buff on lethal arrow thanks to Hawkeye. And they can go up to 25%. So then hit them with 2 more lethal arrows, boom, you're at 25%, hit them with a Toxic Barrage. 25% more damage on a Toxic Barrage. And then imagine your Clarion procs. It's a lot of, yeah. And then Haste to Retreat, we're using this for the Major Expedition. After you roll dodge. It's nice. So yeah, I guess, I don't know, I was thinking about Race Against Time. It kind of makes this skill irrelevant in a way. Not necessarily, but let's see. Restoring Light, you want all of these. I just don't have the Resurrection because I'm saving my points to make sure I can max out everything else. You want all of these, and you want all of these. Even though we're not running a Adric Spear ability, you could argue every Templar probably should, but since it's only 1 bar, and I want to run the dot focus spec, I'm not worried about stunning. Like I said, I'm not really trying to like get in a super sweaty duel or 1v1 where I need to worry about CSing on cooldown. And no, I'm just playing in Greyhost and Cyrodiil on the outskirts, having fun, picking people off, loading them up with dots and just lethal arrows, Toxic Barrage, Calurion, bang. Like, it's fun. So, okay, let's go into the CP. Because it does get kind of interesting here. Obviously, the green, don't even really need to spend time. Gifted Rider, Steed's Blessing. I have Treasure Hunter and Master Gatherer. I don't want to have them, but I had to get up here to get Gifted Rider. So I might as well put them on. Once I actually max out, I'll keep Gifted Rider. You want Steed's Blessing, and then probably Rationer, adding duration to your food, and liquid efficiency for your potions. Gives you a chance not to consume it. Now, blue. So like I said, we're running Thaumaturge, Thaumaturge. Increase your damage with damage over time attacks by 6%. And then we are running 1 damage mitigation with Ironclad. I run Ironclad on every build. I kind of do want to swap it and test it for Focus Mending. Because I ran Focus Mending a couple patches ago on a build, and it was really good. I've been meaning to want to try it again. We also run Untamed Aggression, a little bit more weapon and spell damage, and Deadly Aim, 6%. So the 2 main ones here you want to keep no matter what, Deadly Aim and Thaumaturge, because these Thaumaturge obviously damage, that buffs your 3 dots, plus Toxic Barrage, because Toxic Barrage is a dot. So it's buffing all 4 of your dots. And then Deadly Aim, which increases all of your skills, all of your damaging skills, this increases. So all of your dots, because they're all single target dots, your Lethal Arrow, single target, and your Toxic Barrage is single target. This is huge. And then I would say if you wanted to switch anything, this is going to, Master at Arms is going to actually increase your damage done with your Lethal Arrow, but, so if you wanted to take off Untamed, maybe, but you have to keep these 2. Untamed is nice because it does give you more healing as well. So it's damage and healing, whereas this would just be healing, and this would just be damage to your Lethal Arrow. So I think actually this might be the best in slot setup. The only thing that needs testing is Ironclad versus Focus Mending. But, yeah. Okay, and into the red tree. Balance Vitality, max health. Again, we're trying to get to that 30k. If you feel comfortable playing with less health, do it. You can do better here. But Fortified, more armor. Some people don't run this. Again, I like playing pretty defensively, pretty safe. So I usually run this on my builds. And I also don't feel like I need other things. But Celerity is a must on every single build. Need that more movement speed. And Survival Instincts. Obviously, it's not maxed out, but it will be. The ones I would say to swap out, like if you don't need this max health here, if you can get it other places, like you're running more heavy armor or whatever, you're in a Nord, an Imperial, something like that, you can take that out and go with either Pain's Refuge. This is what I would probably do, and what most sweats do. This is a really good skill. Or Sustained by Suffering, another one, giving you nice recoveries. Relentlessness is actually pretty solid too, but with Oakensoul you don't need it. And Juggernaut's good. You take 1% less damage while under the effects of crowd control immunity. I used to run that a lot. But this is what I'm liking for now, and this is what I've been running on most of my builds. So that is the CP. Back out. I think that pretty much covers it. So you're probably wanting to see what this build looks like in action, and let's go ahead and jump into that because it is really fun to play, and I think you guys are going to like this. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Fucking healing. Fuck that.
field! Get the ball back!
Fuck.
We must get the ball! Guard that ball with your life! Get that ball or get off the field! Get that ball or get off the field! We got the ball! Let's go! We must get the ball! Get the ball back! We must get the ball! We need that ball! We've got the ball! Let's go!
next workout with RX bar. Simple.
Hold your axes high and hold on to that ball!
Snatch the ball back, quick! Get the ball!
Do you want to lose? Come on! Can't speed you! The ball is free!
Grab that ball back fast!
Just standing there. Overextended a little bit, bud. I thought I was able to get out.
The situation is grim. Get the ball back.
Can't move. Let me fucking move.
Get that ball or get off the field.
Wait, how do I don't want the ball? What the fuck? I didn't fucking touch the ball. Why did I have to get the ball?
Must get the ball. We got the ball. Let's go.
Hey everyone, hopefully you guys like the build. Like I said, it's super unique, it's super fun to play, it's fast paced, it's high damage. So if you do like it, if you have any questions, you want to try it out, feel free to leave a comment. I'm happy to, if I didn't cover anything in the build video, I think I got everything. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will do my best to answer that. If you could, like the video, subscribe if you would want to see some more builds. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.